What's up guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. Today I want to show you a little bit about my nutrition. It's a low carb day today. Yesterday was a medium carb day and the day before was a high carb day. On every leg day I have a high carb day, on the back day I have a medium day, and the rest of the days, the chest days, the rest days and the arm days, I have a low carb day. My first meal of the day is pretty much zero carbs. It's just an omelet, some vegetables and a smoothie with spinach and SBC protein. But right now I'm making my second meal of the day, so let me show you exactly what that is. So, what we have right here is actually some low FODMAP vegetables cooking away. I added some salt in there. Actually added low salt. It has less sodium, but it has iodine in it that increases. It's very good for your thyroid actually, so it increases your metabolism if your thyroid isn't functioning 100%, so it's already always good to have that in your diet. Then we've got 35 grams of basmati rice, cooking away right here, almost done, and 300 grams, wow, look at that screen, 300 grams of actually a white fish right there. And it's a beautiful marinated in a little bit of soy sauce to give it some more taste, some flavor. So these are low FODMAP vegetables, and it kind of stands for vegetables that digest very easily in the gut. You don't want to be bloated while on a cut, while on a contest prep diet. You want to have a flat stomach all the time, feel good, have everything digesting very properly and efficiently. And that's why I like to use only foods that digest very quickly. So the low FODMAP vegetables are, for example, let me show you, some carrots, cucumber, as you can see right there, yes, if it sharpens, right there, some bell peppers, we've got some eggplant actually, some sweet potato right there, and we've also got some zucchini in that bag. And yeah, we've got that all mixed up in here. I actually use this food processor to make it in little cubes or slices like that, to make it very nicely mixable with the rice. And then I use for the fats 10 grams of coconut oil. And when you take coconut oil, make sure it has the smell, the scent, because then you know it is unprocessed and it still has the minerals that you need. And obviously what you will see me adding is some turmeric. High quality turmeric. And where does this come from actually? It comes from this form, the raw form of turmeric, as you can see right here. So this is the actual root, the turmeric root, and when you blend this up and you dry this, you get this powder. But I also sometimes just grate this with a grater right here and put it in there to get some fresh turmeric cooking. And I have a rice cooker right here in which I also put the powder and the turmeric to get a nicely, cooked rice that's very yellow. And that's what you're gonna see right now, a complete meal, the second meal of the day. Kaboom, and there we have it. The famous yellow turmeric rice. Nicely stir-fried with the vegetables, the coconut oil, the vegetables, and of course, the turmeric. And I also use next to the iodine salt some regular Himalayan salt. Don't be afraid of sodium, guys, because the less sodium you take, if you don't take a lot of sodium at all, then if you do take a bit of sodium, you will actually respond with water retention. But if you are used to a lot of sodium and then cut the sodium down, you will lose the water weight more easily. And that's what I'm going to do for the Arnold Classic. So this is the final meal, as you can see, and I actually looked up the fish. The name is actually Victoria perch or Nile perch. So if you know it, it's an awesome white fish with a lot of protein content, low fat content, but very healthy overall. Also, I added some alfalfa, which are sprouts, vegetable sprouts, also very healthy. Usually they contain 10 to 20 times the minerals and vitamins of the actual mature plant, just like broccoli sprouts. Very healthy for you. So add 20 grams of that to each meal. And also, as you can see, add some 0-calorie chili sauce there to enhance the flavor even more. Anyway guys, time to enjoy this meal and of course have enough hydration at the same time. This Vintage Genetics Cyclone Cup Shaker, 1 liter or 32 ounces it holds. Very nice. I drink this every single meal basically, so I get enough hydration for sure. And it goes well with the amount of sodium I consume, so that balances it out pretty nicely. Anyway, time to enjoy. Alright, I just finished that meal, which was delicious. And now I'm actually going to show you, since I'm out of vegetables for the next meals and also for the meals for tomorrow, how I'm preparing those and how I'm already going to cut them up for convenience. Because the more easy it is to make the meals, the more likely it is that you will actually hold to your diet, that you keep to your diet. So let me show you actually what it is all about. So, as you can see, I already cut up some zucchini. This is one of the vegetables that I'm using. And here you can already see that I cut up quite a lot of pepper and eggplant, both very well digestible vegetables. And I'm actually going to show you what it looks like after putting this in, but it's very easy. You turn this on, it's going to make a lot of noise. Then you put this through, and it's actually making very small bits of it that you can actually use in the rice for a nice stir fry. So let's start it up. So that's basically how it works. You simply slice up the vegetables so they fit in here. Then this machine slices them up very nicely. And I'm going to show you exactly the full contents of this right after I finish the rest. Alright, so these are all the vegetables. Quite a nice big container right there, full of vegetables. There's 2 zucchinis in there, 2 celery stalks, 1 pepper, 1 eggplant, and I believe that was it. And then you get this result. And then I always take out with a spoon 200 grams of vegetables for every meal. Sometimes 150 grams if I have more rice. But on lower days you can choose for 200 grams for a little more volume. And you're a little more full, but at the same time you digest it very easily and efficiently. So this is my tip for you guys. If you want to spare some time, save some time, then use a food processor. And kaboom, we jump right into the actual chest workout. So you saw me having 2 of those meals. The first meal I already had, and the 4th meal was actually the pre-workout meal. And the 5th meal will be the post-workout meal, and then I have a final meal which I'll be showing you after the workout. But this is a chest workout. It's a little different from usual. Of course, all the classic exercises are in there, especially this one, the bench press, but this time we're upping the volume. Sometimes I like upping the volume on the same day as a low carb day to actually burn even more calories, even more fat, but most importantly, get a great pump even on a low carb day. And that is why when I talked about the sodium, that is very important to keep in your system to be able to get a great pump even on a low carb day, because the carbs aren't the only thing responsible for a pump. Also, the sodium is very responsible, which is why I don't get that a lot of bodybuilders take out all of their sodium at the contest day, because it actually deflates the muscle. Anyway, this is the first exercise, the bench press, still doing everything the same except lowering the weight and upping the volume for a great pump, but at the same time really destroying the muscle and burning more energy. What I'm also doing is stretching in between every single set to make sure that because of the great pump, I don't want to lock up those muscle fibers with too much blood. And here my dad behind me is actually helping me with the concentric part of the range of motion to help me get the bar up, and I'm actually dropping the bar myself, controlling it on the way down during the eccentric range of motion, causing even more muscle damage to occur for more hypertrophy. And then the next exercise is an incline bench press, but on a Smith machine. I really like this because then I'm able to put the bar exactly where I want it to be. And you can see it right under the chin right there, causing a great stretch in the upper chest. For those who haven't tried it this way, trust me, give it a shot. You can see this bar landing right on the part of the chest that you want to have developed when doing this exercise. And when you do it like this, you will feel a stretch you've never felt before during the regular incline bench press. And also another benefit about this Smith machine is that you can put a bench under it and put the bench in an angle that you find works best. Because usually the incline bench press machines, the free weight machines, they kind of have an angle that is too steep, and it kind of targets the shoulders a lot. And a lot of people get shoulder injuries and problems because they do too much incline work on a too steep of an angle. So this angle I'm using right here is basically in between flat and the angle they normally use for the incline bench press. So it's a perfect angle for me, taking out more shoulders and taking in more upper chest. So again, I'm doing 20 reps here, getting an incredible pump right from the get-go, but at the same time keep the range of motion complete, but simply choose a weight with which you can do those 20 reps with, and you will still overload the muscle with a lot of tension. And especially when you're cutting, sometimes when you're close to a show and depleted, it is smarter to lower the weights a little bit and up the volume to protect yourself from injury, because you have less cushioning, you have less recovery time, so you might not always notice when you're on the brink of an injury, and that is exactly the opposite of what you want. The next exercise is the cable flies, a nice exercise, and when you're lean like this, you can see what the exercise actually does to the muscle. I always tell you guys that the difference between the cable flies and the dumbbell flies is the tension it puts on your chest through the entire range of motion. During the dumbbell fly or the cable fly, the stretch part is always great. You can see when I'm stretching, you can see those muscle fibers starting to appear. That means that part is complete, it is good. But on the contraction part, the cable flies are superior. Because here you can see on the contraction part, even the upper chest, the lower chest, the middle chest, even though it doesn't really exist, but a lot of people want to have it developed, it all contracts, it all fills up with blood. And that is the difference between cable flies and dumbbell flies. However, I do recommend you do both to hit those chest muscles from as many angles as you possibly can. And then the next exercise is a chest press, but with a hammer grip. Basically all the compound movements for chest are with a neutral grip. The bench press, the incline bench press, the dumbbell press, all with the same grip. So when you do a chest press in combination with those, you might want to do it with a different grip, a hammer grip, to get a different sense of sensation in the chest. And again, hit it from a different angle, which is what bodybuilding is all about. And here you can see me, one of the sessions that I'm stretching, about 10 to 15 seconds in between every set to really stretch out those muscle fibers. You can see it again when you're pretty lean, and I recommend a lot of you guys, even when you're lean bulking, stay in between 10 to 12% body fat to be able to see those striations here and there, to see even when you're stretching, you can see that the muscle is being activated and actively stretched, which is what you want. So then again, the next set, only increasing the weight just a little bit, 55 kilograms per side here, but again using a full stretch and a full contraction. And that's why I always tell you guys as also to film yourself sometimes so you can actually see your own form. You can see whether you're stretching enough, you can see whether you're contracting well enough, whether your range of motion is complete. So if you're wondering why a muscle group is lacking in development, record the entire workout session and critique yourself on your own movements. And that's what I've been doing, and that is how I've been able to increase and improve my range of motion and form on most of the exercises. And then the last exercise for chest, the obviously awesome dips, bodyweight dips, the classic exercise that we all love to do for the chest, especially the lower chest. This is a great exercise, and I like to do it at the end because at the beginning you can do a lot of bodyweight dips usually when you're pretty strong, but at the end, because of all that chest exercises you did, you can only do a couple. And I like to do 3 sets back to back with only a little rest, so you can, for example, do 15 reps in the first set, maybe 10 reps in the second, and maybe 6 to 7 on the third. Really
finishing off that chest muscle. And after chest, I love to do some triceps. They remain a weak point compared to the biceps, so I keep working them diligently. And this is one of my favorite exercises I like to do. You have a regular French press, you either have a skull crusher, or you have this version, the complete French press with a full range of motion. And I've explained this a couple of times to you, but I want you to try it out if you haven't already. You can see that when I'm going down a lot further than a regular skull crusher. And the reason for that is because I want to work the long head of the triceps, the biggest portion of the triceps, giving it the most mass. And the only way to really fully develop that part of the triceps is to get a very good stretch. And you skip the stretch part if you do a regular skull crusher. You then only work a little bit of the small head, a little bit of the middle head, and a little bit of the long head, but not completely. And that mistake I've been making in the past years, and now I've been improving myself on this exercise by expanding that range of motion to make sure that the long head is increasing in size. And it has increased in size since I've been doing this exercise, and other exercises really focusing on the long head. So that's why I also take progress pictures. If you don't think something is working, first of all, stay consistent with it, give it a shot, give it a chance to work, don't change too much. A lot of people tell me and ask me, should I change my workout plan even if I design them for them? But no, be consistent, stay and stick to it. If it's the basics, it will always work. But anyway, this is one of my favorite exercises to build those long head triceps. And since you've already done a lot of chest exercises, secondary training the triceps, I only do 2 tricep exercises today. And this is also a very nice one, a unilateral rope tricep extension. And you can see here that when I'm contracting the tricep, you can see the striations appearing, and that means that the contraction is complete. You really have to feel that complete contraction, and you know the difference between a complete one and an incomplete contraction. You simply know when you make a full range of motion, you feel that touch, that completeness in the muscle. And that's when you get that muscle quality to appear in the muscle. If you consistently, year in, year out, use that full range of motion with a full contraction. That's how I've got the details in my chest, in the triceps, and in other areas where I've implemented this a lot. And I can simply see this with bodybuilders who don't implement this a lot. You can see a difference in muscle quality. Sure, the muscle grows, but the quality of the muscle fiber simply seems to be different. It's not scientifically based, but this is what I've observed from training 11 years and seeing a lot of people bodybuilding and training and working out. But anyway, this exercise is unilateral, so start out with the weaker tricep and end with the stronger tricep. And again, a full range of motion, not only at the contraction, but also at the stretch part. Again, you work the long head a little bit, but with the full contraction, you actually work the small head too. And the beneficial thing about unilateral exercises is that you can use your other arm to help the working arm complete some forced reps.
Alright guys, I just got back from doing the chest workout, which was pretty amazing. So let me now show you the final meal of the day. The post-workout meal is actually the same as all the other meals, except of 35 grams of basmati rice, it was 70 grams. The rest was exactly the same. I like to keep it consistent, so let me show you the final meal. Alright, so what we have right here is 200 grams of mackerel. Normally I take some salmon. I like an omega-3 fatty fish before going to bed. Omega-3 is very healthy for you, for your blood lipids and insulin sensitivity. And it's a fatty fish, so it slowly makes you absorb the protein and the contents of the entire meal. And right here is actually interesting. This is broccoli mash combined with sweet potato mash. 100 grams of sweet potato with 200 grams of broccoli. Adding some salt and pepper into this, mixing it up. This is actually still frozen. Slowly thawing it out with a low heat. And you can actually, I got this actually at a Dutch website, Muscle Meat. I get my vegetables there, and some of the fish that I get from there. But this is very unique for a bodybuilder. Just to make a quick and nice and easy digesting meal.
before going to bed.
So yes guys, that is the final meal of the day, of my low carb day. Tomorrow is actually a rest day, so that's another low carb day. And then we're going to do legs the day after, which will be a high carb day. And I'll do my best to record that one for you as well. Anyway guys, I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay golden.